Welcome to the Eric Avasar Show. Time now to talk about an incredible game that ended in triumph for Duke and in heartbreak for Virginia Tech, with Duke taking down Virginia Tech in Washington, D.C. By a 75-73 scoreline. I mean, what an exciting game it was from start to finish. One of the best games I've seen in this March Madness, hands down. Unfortunately for the Hokies, of course, an absolute rip your heart out type of finish. I mean, for me at the very end, my heart was in my throat, just wanting the Hokies to tie or win the game so bad, down two with the clock running out. Med Hill and Ty Outlaw both missing three-pointers, and then, of course, Hill missing the layup at the buzzer, and that shot in particular is going to sting. I mean, there's really no way to sugarcoat that. That miss hurts like hell. And, this was the most successful season in Virginia Tech basketball history, making the Sweet 16 for the first time since the field expanded. So many incredible wins along the way in the regular season, and then, of course, those two wins over St. Louis and Liberty. But ultimately, this is going to be a really hard pill to swallow. It honestly could take years to recover from this game when you look at the potential off-season implications ahead. But at the end of the day, the best player on the floor was Zion Williamson. I mean, Williamson is the best player in college basketball. He had 23 points, has now broken the record for most points in the first three games of the tournament for a freshman. Tech pretty much had no answers for him, although I was pretty impressed with how Isaiah Wilkins defended him on a few possessions. Would have liked to see him get a few more minutes. But you know what? In the second half, Duke really stymied the Virginia Tech offense. The Hokies were really clicking on offense in the first half and just couldn't, maintain that rhythm in the second. RJ Barrett played some tremendous defense, and he really had his way attacking the basket. It seemed like every time he took the ball to the rack, he got a bucket or got fouled. And, he really did a good job of not forcing the issue with the three-point shot because it wasn't going down for him. Meanwhile, on the opposite end of things, Trey Jones was practically automatic. He nailed 5 three-pointers. He's not a good three-point shooter, and he's been having a bad tournament, but he was like a sleeping giant who awoke tonight when it came to his offensive output. He really seemed like the unsung hero. For Virginia Tech, it was another great game as usual for Kerry Blackshear, who had 18 points and a mind-boggling 11 offensive rebounds. Not 11 rebounds, but 11 offensive rebounds. I mean, he was frustrated, he was tired, but he never gave up, he never quit, and he just delivered, the type of performance that reminded you why he was the player of this season for the Hokies. Justin Robinson did what he could, pitching in 14 points, but it was yet another disappointing performance from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's been just a fantastic player for Virginia Tech. First round lock, absolutely going in the first round of the upcoming NBA draft, but I think honestly at this point he has played his way out of the lottery. Now for Duke, it's on to the Elite Eight after winning a second consecutive game in which the Blue Devils benefited from some controversial officiating, to put it nicely. And for the Hokies, it could really be a tough offseason. Med Hill, Justin Robinson, Ty Outlaw, they've meant so much to the program. They were all great players for the Hokies, and now they're gone. They are graduating. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, like I said, likely going pro. And Buzz Williams. The greatest thing to ever happen to Virginia Tech was Whit Babcock's hiring of Buzz Williams to take on what was a truly hapless, doormat, practically dumpster fire of a basketball program. Buzz is more than likely going to Texas A&M. He's a Texas native. All the Virginia Tech insiders are saying that there's a less than 10% chance of him staying. Texas A&M is going to whip out the Brinks truck for him. Not that money is the most important thing for Buzz, but his parents live in Texas and he's a Texas guy. So who knows? I hope I am pleasantly shocked and see him come back to Blacksburg, but I'm certainly bracing myself for that excruciating departure. Who knows what will happen, but hopefully Whit Babcock will continue his string of home run hires for the Hokies athletic program as a whole and for the Virginia Tech basketball program. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel.